Namaste. Welcome you all for this sixth International Day of Yoga or the World Yoga Day, various ways that people celebrating this particular event. There are religious belong to various places, or there are so many festivals which are culturally developed, which belong to some area or the other. But this International Day of Yoga or the understanding about yoga is something which has become global, much more than anything else. So therefore, that it is a wonderful thing that we also celebrate this International Day of Yoga in even in the small little circles, small areas, small gathering. This is one thing which will bring people together. That's the very name of yoga, is to bring together. Yujjate anena iti yogaha. That's a definition of yoga. So, as per that definition, we try to come together, the whole group of people around here, and we also look at that beautiful slogan this year, that is, it is about the well being, especially during this time of Corona, COVID 19 pandemic that is spread all over the world. In one voice, that world is saying that this COVID 19, both in terms of preparing oneself for having a better well-being, and also during the COVID to see that how you can go to the relaxation level. And the third is that post-pandemic kind of disturbances that are there, post-COVID disturbances that are there. To overcome that, a wonderful tool is supposed to be yoga. And various techniques of yoga that are there, like for example, it is not only the physical practice of asanas, pranayama, meditation, various aspects of it can help us. Not only these things, even reading yoga knowledge and also the chanting, these are all the things which are useful. Depending upon one's own availability and approach towards that, we can adapt these particular things. And in order to see that this yoga we revive in the form of an enthusiasm everyday life, this International Day of Yoga is something which is very useful. I see that a few years ago that when I visited various other countries in Ukraine and things like that, they were saying that this is the uh, park where we started International Day of Yoga 3 4 years ago, and slowly it has become so much that this park is small place for us. We have to move to a bigger place, and this is how it is gaining popularity internationally, and in the way that the yoga is being accepted by the people, that beyond any religions or any culture or anything like that, very important thing that you could see that probably this is one thing which can bind people together beyond the shores of religion, etc., etc. Because these days there is so much a problem that's going on in the name of religion. I think we need to rise above that idea of religion. The second thing is that individual level, we always insisted in our culture that we have to have that family values, be together, cleanliness, washing the hands, washing the feet, and washing the clothes regularly. These are all the things which are natural with us. So all these are same things in the name of fighting with the COVID. It has come back to us. So is it not something which is extraordinary? You know, as long as we take this COVID or pandemic as pandemic, then people become nervous. Whereas on the other hand, when we take this as one of the situations, yes, there are ups and downs. As the way Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchate. Sometimes success, sometimes failure. Particularly during the second wave of pandemic, that every house has some major disturbance or the other. So that means to say it has become very severe, cruel on us on one side when we look at it. But when we look at the other way, what yoga says is that yes, failures are there, successes are there, but we need to continue to journey. Ekla chalore, marching has to go on. And this marching forward can be done with the help of yoga. And especially that in our own small little community group, Why not we get together, start this yoga? That's why we have uh, on the internet, when you go to so many different yoga classes are there, yoga practices are there, meditation is there, pranayama is there. And I'm sure that in every area that you come across, within about few uh, a kilometer area, that you always find one or the other yoga teacher. So you follow that and see that we can develop within our own small little group this yoga classes, particularly like for example in Nobel Residency, there are people who are trained in yoga, and then make them to give the classes at a suitable time for the colony people online. We'll try to link in and then try to see that we do that. So this way, that yoga has become a way of life in every house, every individual. Another very important thing is the World Health Organization wanted to make this health to be well-being rather than the sickness. And this yoga not only takes care of our well-being at the physical level, but at various other personality levels it will take, especially mental level well-being. It's very important. There is one time where it looked like that the world is getting more and more of these mental illnesses, mental sicknesses due to various other reasons in the world outside, be it in the work, be it in this and that and all that. Now, what happened is that people are suffering from mental problems because of the COVID isolation conditions and then working constantly on the screen. So these are all the different kind of problems which we never envisaged. And this is where definitely yoga will help us to understand this, but overcome this particular problem. Yoga itself says that it's an inward journey. That means to say, you be strong within yourself. You try to be with yourself. In fact, the beautiful way that somebody presented that yoga is befriending oneself. That means I'm a friend of myself. And that's what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, that Atmanyevaha Atmana Bandhu Atmai Varipuhu Atmanaha. I can be the best friend of myself. I can be only my enemy. If I curse, if I create a negativity, if I go into depression, it's only because of me that I can go into all these things. We might say the reason can be outside, but then getting affected by the reason outside, by the situation outside, is the way that how you allow it to come into your being. So therefore, essentially, that during this period of time, COVID pandemic, we have already crossed first one, and almost like that we have successfully overcame the second wave of COVID, and some scientists are predicting the third wave, and we don't know. In fact, yesterday only somebody was saying that, is there any country which is having the fourth wave? I pray God that we will not have all those things. But on the other hand, that let us take this yoga forward, the first wave of yoga to second wave, International Day of Yoga. Earlier, when yoga research is being developed and propagated, that was supposed to be the first wave of yoga. Then later on, now this International Day of Yoga has come. And then all over the world, people have taken, that's what is the second wave. And let's take the yoga to the third wave, and that's what is household level. And this is the practice of yoga. There's another very important aspect that I wanted to address on this particular International Day of Yoga. Remember, when the first time that COVID has come announced and all that, the TV channels started thinking that how to engage people, because that now they are at home, they have to be made busy at home. So therefore, the TV channels have regularly aired what is called as the Ramayana Mahabharata series. I don't know how many people were really looking at it. Many people, lakhs of them, have gave the report that we are so very happy because it's really refreshing after so many years once again to see those things. And they have full of the message of our culture, yoga, philosophy, and also how to live for the other dharmic way. And these are all the things part of the life that Mahabharata and Ramayana have given us. Now, the serial is over, but it does not mean that we should stop there. Let us continue our pursuit into these things, which is supposed to be Ramayana, Mahabharata, and also learning of Sanskrit, and Bhagavad Gita, these aspects are also nothing but part of the learning of yoga, going through the yoga. This is very, very important. In fact, this way, when you keep it, that will be, apart from the it helped us to see that we come out of all that junk eating outside, unnecessarily wandering around and all that. From that, we have saved ourselves, but also we have kept our mind sane, clean, and also spiritual by doing this kind of thing. This is very important because all these ideas, whether it is yoga, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they came in this particular culture 5, 6, 7,000 years ago, which is much before even the word called religion was born. So that means to say there is nothing, they don't belong to any particular religion kind of an idea. They are the wonderful stories, they are wonderful incidents, reality that happened in man's life. If it could happen about 5, 6, 7,000 years ago in man's life, definitely we can take the benefit of it. Even this, during this time also, that we should be able to be benefited. Let us en masse take this particular culture into spiritual heights because of this COVID pandemic that has come. So, with this idea, on the 6th International Day of Yoga, I wish you all the best. I wish you all a well being. Thank you so much. Namaste.